Hey, puppy trades! There's a lot of days I wish this was all in person. This would have been a great day to have a pizza party. This is a great time to have a buffet. And this is really a holiday season for a lot of Americans, and they don't even know it. They kind of know it, but they don't even know it. We are in the glory period of deflation. Let's just look at that. What's that mean? Let's look at some glory periods. We're in the glory period of me getting to use bar chart for a second. And actually, I might not even be able to do this. I thought I was going to have access to text. Oh, man. I thought I was going to have access to text. So, what I have to do for now, because of this ridiculous update, I go to Tesla, a chart that I already have marked up. This is also why it's the last days. Oh no. I have to refresh it? This is such a bad update. Do you see how it feels like they're conspiring against getting this message out? Is that just me? No more text. Bar chart has no more text. They didn't think that was useful. Oh no. Well, let's see what I can do. Let's see what I can do. Ramaco Resources has unusual stock options volume today. We're going to see about 2/3 call bias here, 71,000 calls to 35,000 puts. And that's going to be almost 2,000% unusual options volume, 1,943% more than the average for the past 30 days. What's this stock doing? Ramaco Resources is an operator and developer of metallurgical coal, primarily in southern West Virginia. Coal. That reminds me, there was another type of energy, Obsidian Energy. Maybe I'll do that one in this video. Ramaco Resources does coal primarily in southern West Virginia, southwestern Virginia, and Pennsylvania. Let's look at some of these fundamentals. Interest coverage ratio 12.76, probably my favorite, along with these. Profit margin, return on assets, all very positive. And we look at this is very interesting. 74% institutional shareholders and 45% insider shareholders. I don't believe that's a typo. I believe that means that we have an awful lot of insiders that are still holding warrants, dividends. We're going to look at that yield right now, a 5.41% dividend yield. And the payout ratio is 46%. That's going to need to be compared. But it looks like this company is pretty making a good amount of money. We're going to look at the earnings per share for the trailing 12 months. Only 1.13. I say only because if going to investing, oil stocks, and sorting by earnings per share, there's going to be quite a few stocks to beat that, but this is in the coal sector, not necessarily oil. But we're going to see energy prices explode, and I don't think this is just going to be a typical winter thing. Actually, let's see what they bought first. Let's see what they bought. Yeah, we're going to see just very directly 69,000 in the money calls, at the money in the money calls bought for November 15th, and then they pair it with the 10 strike put. So that's a biased straddle. This is a straddle that is biased to the upside. About 66% calls, 33% puts. So they're buying this huge straddle with a clear bias to the upside on Aramco Resources. We're going to look at coal prices. We're going to look at oil. We're going to look at commodities. Everything, all inflation is about to explode. That's why I was saying, I would love, if we had like a pizza party or something like that, because these are the last days of inflation being this low. They're the last days but really, does it even matter? The bar chart, is going away because these are the last days of inflation being low. And after this, it's the runaway train. Numerous super cycles of a series of wave 3, 4, 5, wave 3, 4, 5, wave 3, 4, 5, aka just a big, ever long uptrend with things getting a lot more expensive. And we've been in a period where equities have been exploding Now the S&P 500 is nearing 600. That equal X target might overshoot it. And then what? Inflation getting ready to explode at a time where what? All the 401k holders just, they don't really, I mean, they think inflation's bad now, and there's not inflation now. Middle class America, the people who say they don't care about the stock market because they're not invested or whatever, they're complaining about inflation. But what they don't get, what all these numbers mean, is that this is a large wave one in an A, B, C wave two correction. And then this is another wave one subdivided into one, two, three, four, five waves in an A, B, C correction. So what's about to happen, in my opinion, is that the length of this rally, while this stock is above 7.26, that's the invalidation, which I can't write, we're going to see a wave three begin. And just this wave three can take this stock up to 24. That's already an energy stock doubling. We look at how fast this could be from 5 May to January, possibly 7 months from now, a coal stock could be double in value. So this is Ramaco Resources, METC, and this is the theme. Wave 1, ABC, Wave 2, inflation going into the election, after the election, the inauguration. It is getting ready to explode. This is very clear. It's not just an individual stock. This is something that I'm preparing for, and I've been preparing for this for a bit because of how important this is. This is something that if I'm not careful with, I could wake up and my huge dividends from ETFs like MSTY for MicroStrategies, out of the money covered calls, NVDY for NVIDIA. I blend CRSH with TSLP for Tesla to get delta neutral. AIPI holding all of the AI stocks and collecting massive out of the money covered call premium. FEPI doing it with the MAG 7 and other big time tech stocks. All of those dividends, their buying power could be destroyed. And that's what we're seeing with silver right now. The transportation of the oil with GLNG and Imperial Petroleum. And we look at this right now. This is the commodity index fund. This has all of them in it. And we're going to look at this chart and we can just look at these holdings even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 1, wave A, B, C, wave 2, wave B. Looking at these time fibs, the beginning of this entire rally, measuring it, we see that's the 1 time fib, and then the 2 time fib is right there where we see this bottom. We can see the commodities index DBC rally. And now we're not just talking about, oh, that's a cool coal stock. We're going to see Kamala Harris or Donald Trump change a policy. We're looking at something that has soybeans, it has corn, it has wheat, crude, gasoline, natural gas, sugar, gold, silver, high grade copper. This has everything. Inflation is about to explode. I've done this with real estate plenty of times. I invest in real estate, RQI and SCHH. But this is, these were public service announcements. Now it's not a public service announcement. Maybe it is. It's definitely not investment advice in any way. This is why I focus so much on inflation, because I am seeing right now that something very bad could happen to the purchasing power of my dividends. And I need to make sure that happens. I need to make sure rents don't destroy the value of my income. And if I traveled a ton, I would need to make sure gasoline doesn't. But realistically, all things are going to be affected by gasoline, coal, all these energy prices. I've gone over uranium recently. I completely smoked uranium out of the water with a perfect hit on URA. So we're seeing the leaders, uranium and silver. We're going to see the laggards, and that's where it's really going to hit middle class America, every American, heck, in the wallet.